This that bull. I ain't even watched the video yet, but just reading the title, it's that bull. See, today, how y'all doing, man? I'm sorry I ain't introduced myself. My name is So Mellow, and thank y'all for tuning in to the Infrequent Frequency channel. I gotta get used to this intro, man. This is new. This is all new to me, you know what I'm saying? But welcome to Infrequent Frequencies, where we tune in to infrequent frequencies, whether that's music, media, news, whatever, you know, media, news, that's same anyway, ain't it? But yeah, today we have teacher calls another student despicable, as she refuses to call another student, no, I'm sorry, she refuses to accept that another student identifies as a cat. I'm gonna say that one more time. Teacher calls a student despicable for refusing to accept that another student identifies as a cat. Man, let's watch this.
Gender if their parents oppose it in new guidance from Rishi Sunak. This, by the way, as a teacher basically told a student she had to go to a different school after she discussed whether or not a girl could or could not identify as a, wait for it, a cat. This as it emerges that teachers are allowing pupils to identify as a dinosaur, a horse.
See, now I just made a prior video that actually got rendered right now that's about to go tonight, talking about the man that faked his death. You know the first thing I said? Sick.
Or even the moon, and say,
we are sick.
Yes, we'll completely accept that, and we will teach.
And like I said in the last video, I'm not gonna pause it for a little minute, but like I said in that last video, man, look, when I say we are sick, I'm not talking about us individuals, me and you and the common folk, but I'm talking about as humanity in a whole. In a whole, all of us, we are sick. Bro, we allowing ourselves to just
treat that as if it's completely normal and has meaning, as opposed to completely insane and a child perhaps either having a laugh or perhaps needing severe help. Well, let's talk to Miriam Cates. She's a Conservative MP. She's also a member of the Education Select Committee and has been one of the people bravely speaking out on these issues for a number of years. Good morning to you, Miriam.
Good morning, Julia.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, these are the sort of things, we see these stories, they appear online, they're on social media, and you sort of look at them and think, oh, God, these people are mad. And everyone has a bit of a chuckle because it is so crazy, and it's the sort of thing, you know, you would laugh about as a parent. Oh, God, do you remember when little Johnny used to think that he was a dinosaur? That's funny. That used to mean a kid liking having a dinosaur costume or wearing a Spider-Man costume or a little, a little child thinking they were a fairy because they had a tutu.
Right.
But
a nice vivid imagination, you know what I'm saying? But not actually, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. Okay.
We're talking about here teachers and schools basically affirming children's fantasies, games, or sometimes serious delusions. This is actually much more serious than a lot of people think, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's worth saying in that Telegraph article where they report about the girl who thinks she's a cat, they do say that there's been a lot of hype and it's not quite clear how widespread this belief of children being animals is. So I think we should say that. But clearly there are some obvious evidence cases that are in that. And then more widely, we know there are thousands of children who are identifying as the opposite gender to their birth sex. What's gone wrong? As you say, all children play, all children role play. It's a really important part of growing up. It's a part of forming empathy. It's fun. Children pretend to be the opposite sex. They pretend to be animals. They pretend to be, characters from history and movies and things like that. But the role of a parent and teacher is to say, that's great, but it's not real, don't you? Or if the child asks the question, is it real? No, it's not real, but it's great. You have fun. And I think we've got into a serious problems as a society, really, where we're frightened to say no to children or to tell children the truth. And the later you leave it to tell a child the truth, the more you allow them to believe the lie, the more damaging the consequences later on when they do come into conflict with reality. And like you say, it is, it's hard to believe that this is happening.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. People think we've been making this stuff up for years. Why are you getting, you're just trying to stir up the culture wars. No. We didn't want this. We wanted kids to have normal, happy lives. I mean, you mentioned this story again. There's this teacher at a school in East Sussex in Rye reprimanded 2 Year 8 pupils for refusing to accept that one of their classmates identified as a cat. I mean, this is, I mean, this is the thing. They were basically saying, look, you know, if it's all caught on tape. You know, the basically you should go to a different school. Now, you know, that's an outrageous thing for any teacher to say to any pupil. I would say a disciplinary matter as well. So,
Sam, just imagine that for a second. Like, I have a niece. I don't have kids yet, but imagine that you go to school. You know what I'm saying? And your kid gets punished, basically expelled, told you gotta go. You can't come here no more for not acting and conforming. I don't even know if that's the right word or if there is a word, but to just going along with this idea that this kid actually thinks that they're a cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker is probably the kid. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call the kid a mother. The kid is probably, you know, doing cat things, and you know your child just like, you know, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? And the kid is trying to force that, but your kid like, nah, like, what are you doing? Get up. You know what I'm saying? But your kid gets expelled for not partaking in. This is the world we live in now. Yep.
3.5 minute recording, the angry teacher, who's not being named in the media, said they report the girl to a senior colleague and she needed a proper educational conversation about equality, diversity and inclusion because the girl basically refused to accept that you know, that their classmate could identify as a cat. The teacher said, how dare you? You just really upset someone saying things like you should be in an asylum. Are probably not that helpful. The girl said, but year 8, I mean, you know, 12-year-old. The girl says, I didn't say that. I just said if they want to identify as a cow or something, then they're genuinely unwell and they're crazy. The teacher is on tape saying, you were questioning their identity. Where did you get this idea from that there are only 2 genders? At which point the pupil says, I just said my opinion. If I can respect their opinion, can't they respect mine? The teacher insists there are lots of genders and then links her views to being homophobia, saying it's not an opinion. If you don't like it, you need to go to a different school. Now, this is the thing. The girl is actually incredibly making calm, rational, reasonable, fact-based arguments and is being reprimanded by, frankly, I would say a trans activist, you know, political ideologist teacher who, frankly, has no business. I mean, if a teacher spoke to my kid like that, the idea she'd have a job on Friday ain't going to happen. I mean, this is outrageous that children are being told they can't express what until 3 or 4 years ago were considered to be completely normal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpick in this. Clearly, that teacher is not well informed about these issues or indeed the law. But, you know, and hopefully that is an edge case, but who knows? But, you know, there's a lot to unpack here. Yes, of course, in a democracy and in schools, people should be allowed to express their opinions. And it's great in a democracy that we can have diverse opinions and argue about it. But we do need some sort of common understanding of reality. And I don't think it's okay to say, well, if children want to transition, they can. If children want to change their pronouns, they can. Other people can refuse to if they can. I don't think that's enough because I think it's fundamentally not based on the reality of there are 2 biological sexes. No society ever in history has allowed a generation of children to grow up thinking that biological sex doesn't matter, that they can change sex. We have no idea of the consequences of that. It is a psychological intervention and we shouldn't be doing it. It's fine to express opinions. It's fine to talk about these things. But I do think we have to draw a line somewhere, and that is the difference between reality and ideology.
100%. Just every word. Miriam Cates, thank you for standing up on this. If you could just persuade the government to do a little bit more of that, that would be nice. Tory MP, a member of the Education Select Committee.
That shit is crazy, son. Let me know what y'all think about that. I mean, it's wild that we allowing kids, and like I said, when I say we, just understand, but we're allowing kids to just do whatever. Oh, I'm not a girl. I'm a boy. Talking about what, 7, 8-year-olds ain't hit no type of puberty yet. What? You don't even understand who you are yet. What is a boy, or you don't even understand that yet. You still new in the mind. You Wet behind the ears. What are you talking about? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I don't. I'm this close. Just claiming y'all, man. I'm this close. I don't know. I don't know y'all. I'm just here. You feel me? I'm just here. Just watching. But man, look. Let me know what y'all think about that, man. Y'all stay safe out here, man. Watch what your kids doing, what they watching, who they talk to, where they go to school, all that. It's wild out here, man. But I love y'all, man. Tune into the next video. Make sure y'all leave a like and all that. I'm out.